So last night, you guys, many of you, about 400 of you, almost 400 of you, watched the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight on a live stream. We were here on Locals watching it, having a hell of a lot of fun, and I imbibed many, many drinks. Almost fell asleep at the end because I was so schnockered, and we had a hell of a good time. The only people, Mike Tyson technically lost the fight, but the only losers really in this fight were the viewers and Netflix, because Tyson and Jake Paul made out like bandits. I think the whole thing, honestly, was, I don't know if I'd call it fake, but it was a bad exhibition fight. That's the best thing I can say about it. If you guys remember, this was right here. This is Mike Tyson. And this is what many of us saw leading up to the fight. This Mike Tyson in training. And boy, many of us were like, oof, Mike is going to tear him up. Mike is going to wreck him. And then what did we see during the fight? Nothing. A little bit of pitter-patter. There was a couple of punches in there that were kind of, but it was, I've seen female UFC fighters that were more interesting. And let me tell you, that doesn't happen very much, but this was just a train wreck. First, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is PDS Debt. No one wants to think about debt, but the cold, hard truth of it is many of us will get in deeper and deeper in debt during the holidays or with just everyday struggles. But it's never too early to start planning to get help to dig yourself out, and the group at PDS Debt can help with a personalized solution just for you. If you're making payments every month on your debt and your balances aren't going down, PDS has solutions for you. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, and there's no minimum credit score required. Bad and fair credit is accepted. Save more while paying off your debt in a fraction of the time. I've explained before, I used to work in a similar industry. I used to do refis, and I used to help people that were struggling with debt, and there's multiple ways you can help people get out of debt. This is one of them. I would suggest that if you are having some struggles, to reach out, because one of the things that'll keep you from sleeping well at night is worrying about every bill that hits your mailbox. That's one of the reasons why I love that job, because I was able to help people. They say PDS Debt has customized options for anyone struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills. They strive to understand your specific scenario, can help provide alternative solutions to becoming debt-free. Start planning today. Get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/bachelor15. It only takes 30 seconds. That's pdsdebt.com/bachelor15, pdsdebt.com/bachelor15. From 5 Chicago, how much do Tyson and Paul stand to make from the match? According to reports, Paul will get $40 million for the fight, a number he mentioned at another news conference in New York in August. Tyson, who had 2 stints in prison and blah, 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 and after filing bankruptcy 20 years ago, will get $20 million. So one guy gets $40 million, the other gets $20 million. So neither one of them lost. The only ones that lost, and here's the scorecard and the results and punch stats and all that. In this 8-round fight that only had 2-minute rounds instead of the 3-minute rounds, Jake Paul won, but neither one of them were active. Neither one of them threw many punches, and they didn't land much. And I don't think there were any punches that were actually like, ooh, that one stung him a little bit. It was a complete train wreck. Here's 13 seconds of meh. Now I want you to see this, because this is important. This is Netflix. Netflix posted this as a highlight reel. Netflix posted this as a highlight reel, and it is boring, their highlight reel. That was a highlight reel. That was a highlight reel. Wait, where's the one I want? I have the best thing about that. Oh, here it is.
Wow. The interesting thing about that is
just boring. Everybody was disappointed. And then if you read down through this report, They're trying to make it sound like, oh, first this happened, then this happened. I watched the fight. It was a snooze fest. It was horrible. But ironically, Netflix is the biggest loser. And again, everybody that actually watched the match. And the clips of Tyson training, that's why everybody, myself included, was like, man, I hope Tyson wrecks this guy. It was a nothing burger. People fell asleep. People tuned out. Netflix's debut in live sports streaming hit a major snag during Friday's Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul boxing event. Fans expecting a seamless experience were met with video buffering, pixelation, and outright crashes. The streaming issues began early in the undercard matches and peaked just before the main event, frustrating viewers and igniting a storm on social media. This is actually, ironically, the most interesting thing that came out of the fight was the fact that Netflix crapped the bed and everybody was really pissed off at them. That is the most interesting thing that came out of this fight night. I hate to say that. As reports of streaming problems flooded tracking site Down Detector, surpassing 88,000 complaints by 9 p.m., users on X, formerly Twitter, voiced their displeasure. Some shared screenshots of the glitches, while others turned to humor, using GIFs and memes to mock the situation. Hashtags like Netflix fight and buffering quickly trended, showcasing the mix of irritation and entertainment provided by the chaos. Despite the uproar, Netflix declined to comment on the situation. Reports of problems continued as the main event began, but subsided compared to earlier in the evening. For many, the streaming issues overshadowed the action-packed, we need quotes around that, undercard and the marquee bout, leaving fans questioning Netflix's preparedness for live sports events. Technical problems didn't deter the boxing stars in the ring. Jake Paul secured a unanimous decision victory over the legendary Mike Tyson, who returned to his professional boxing for the first time since 2005, and blah, 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 and $60 million payout for the winners. Netflix's entry into live sports was ambitious, but highlighted the challenges of handling massive viewership. The streaming giant's struggles on Friday serve as a wake-up call to invest in better infrastructure if it hopes to compete in the sports streaming arena. For viewers, the Tyson-Paul fight will be remembered as much for its technical difficulties as for the action inside the ring. I disagree. It'll be remembered way more for the issues Netflix had than the fight. The fight is over. It is a nothing burger. And ironically, yes, you are correct, Bo. That is one of the memes that is going around right now. There's the biggest winner of the evening. There's the best thing to look at of the entire fight night is right there, the ring girls. That, I'm not kidding. That was the most interesting thing. That is the only thing that has stuck with all the guys that wanted to watch a good boxing match, was the ring girls, legitimately. Because that meme is going around as well. Even this, so this is from Barstool Sports, and this is the last thing I'll say about this, but I found it entertaining. From Barstool Sports, Jake Paul gets to fight the winner of these two dudes fighting in the stands next. And this is just I'll pull it up so it's a little easier to see. This is just two dudes. Let me mute this because there's screaming and cursing, of course. These are two dudes that are in the stand of the fight, two drunk guys that decided to slug it out. And the smaller guy ends up going for an eye gouge. And they're swinging and trying to choke each other out, and they're fighting. This was more this right here is the highlight of the night, as the most interesting part of the Paul Tyson fight. This is better than anything that happened in the ring. And if you think I'm kidding, go waste half an hour of your life and go watch the actual fight. And you'll be like, yeah, I see why this was probably as interesting. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it was. But I wanted to read the comments from this because that's just as funny. Better than some of the matches on the undercard. No buffering with this fight. The eye poke is proper filthy, someone said. This is how Jake finds his next undercard opponent. This is better quality than the Netflix stream. Jake Paul versus the Beer Bros, main event material right here. Netflix, you missed streaming another fight. They actually, the memes are crispy. The memes are fun. I think it's fun. But the fight was not fun. The fight was miserable. Roughneck says, glad I didn't stay up for it and just caught the tail end. Yeah, the whole night was, even the undercard wasn't very interesting. It was disappointing. I'm disappointed. Again, the only people that lost were anybody that tried to stream it on Netflix, and the viewers and the audience that paid upwards, in some cases, of $5,000, $10,000 a ticket for front row. They all lost. The two fighters in the ring, they won. Big payouts.